Welcome to Rooted in the Middle, where I talk about real life, real work, and real faith. My name's Becca, and I am talking today about everything and nothing. I, once again, am not in my normal filming spot, except this week I'm on my back porch instead of my dirty front porch that I still haven't swept, which, we're just going to give me grace there. I'm going to give myself grace. Anyways, I've been doing a lot of praying this last week and just kind of asking God for direction on, what he would want me to talk about. I've got literally a list of like 20 topics that I could share with you guys, because I'm a planner, I'm a list maker. But nothing clicked this week, and none of it felt just right, timing wise, or, in my mood wise. Sorry, I'm looking off to the side because my dad is driving down the lane taking trash out. It's after 9 o'clock that I am recording this. So anyways, I'm just kind of everywhere today. And, just to share some things that are going on in our life. I've been really, I wouldn't say convicted, but I've just gotten a real appreciation for people who are self-sustained, and meaning, farmers, of course, number one. But I'm not a farmer. I'm not going to pretend to be a farmer. We don't raise livestock. We had chickens, and it's not my cup of tea because I have this pretty house, and the chickens would literally come up here and leave their daily presence on my back porch, and I hated it. It was one more thing to take care of, one more thing in a busy season. So we moved them next door to the family farm. And my mom now has a ton of chickens, and we still benefit from the eggs, thankfully. But without the work and, just needed one less thing. I'm not looking to get animals, but I've always joked that I kill anything I plant, and that I have a black thumb, and I've got a garden that is doing really good. There's my garden. And let me flip it over. Beds. And I've got watermelon, cantaloupe, one tomato plant that's chorus, peppers, green beans, and cucumbers that are starting to vine up that trellis, which I'm really excited about having. So that's my garden. And then just a little while ago, Cora and I sat on the back of the side-by-side while Matt drove it, and we threw out sunflower seeds while he drug dirt to, kind of churn it up. And we planted a huge sunflower field. And we actually also planted a little pumpkin patch filled with white pumpkins. We couldn't find our orange pumpkin seeds for some reason, but we've got white ones. And I love white things. I love white roses, white pumpkins, decor that's white. I love it. So, except for my cabinets. I don't know, no, you can't see it. My cabinets are black. White and black, they're my favorite. Anyways, I'm rambling. So we've gotten our sunflower field, but I really just lately, I've been baking the bread, and it's, we've been picking wild blackberries, and I just made some blackberry jelly, and I've got more blackberries now after picking more tonight with my mom, and I'll make some blackberry maybe pie filling to have on hand, and hopefully I'll be able to have some cucumbers to make pickles and some green beans to can and whatnot. I'm just really trying to develop some skills that are somewhat sustainable. I wouldn't call myself a conspiracy theorist. I am interested in conspiracy theory topics, and I won't get into those. But one thing that I've really felt, and I think about everybody has, because I feel like this is all a movement right now. I feel like there's so many people in the same boat and feeling the same way as me. I just don't want to put all my reliance for our food, for, what feeds my family on stores that are, regulated by the government or, what have you. Because I think that so much of the problem with the world is we've stopped taking responsibility or taking ownership over providing for ourselves. And, of course there's pros and cons to every side of all of this. You make more money so that you can buy more, and you can work more so that you can, you know, provide for your family, and that includes being able to buy all your groceries. And at the grocery store, everybody's got to have a job, and there's, like I said, it's give and take on everything. You can't have your cake and eat it too, I guess. But where I'm getting at is I'm really interested in developing skills that are like, they seem homesteadish. I'm not trying to be a homesteader. My channel used to be Harmony Homestead. That's when I had the chickens, and I had bigger aspirations for the land. But I think now, when I just kind of simplified it, I feel like I'm doing now more with the land that we have than we did before. Even with the chickens, it just feels more intentional. And I know I've been talking a lot lately about being intentional with your life, being intentional with my life, with my home, with what we do, the way I speak, think. And I just have felt a real sense of peace as I've started doing more of this. Gardening kind of requires you to slow down. Baking bread requires you to slow down. And man, I know I sound like a 1950s housewife right now, and I'm not trying to. But there's a lot of value in knowing that if there's a catastrophe, I know there's some basic skills I've got that I know I can provide for my family. And if nothing else, again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist and I'm not a prepper, but knowing that I've got shelf-stable items in our basement, that if there was something to go wrong in the world, if our pantry won't go empty fast. And I just find peace in that. Ultimately, I find my peace with the Lord, and I know that He'll provide, and I'm not trying to, make myself self-reliant, but I'm trying to use the skills that God gave us and the earth that God gave us, and, trying to utilize things naturally to sustain us. Like, we've planted some fruiting trees. Now, if there's an apocalypse, I'm not going to survive on my peach tree and 4 cans of green beans. But, you get it. You get where I'm coming from. I'm just trying to learn new skills, get back to some basics. There's just a lot I've realized, like, I don't know some of these basic things that, like, our grandmothers and grandfathers knew. And it's humbling to start trying to do some of these things. And if I can't get it, I'm like, man, my grandma could do this. Why can't I do it? But that's where I'm at. This week, I'm just I don't have a big, huge topic, more so just kind of talking with you about where I'm at. And I'll get back to our inside chats and topics. But I think I like being in the outdoors. I used to not, but more so now I am. And I really just wanted to pour into you guys and share my heart and share where I'm at, let you see kind of the real side, because again, this is real life, real faith. And sometimes it's maybe I'm not always going to have some profound lesson or script or topic that's going to catch you off guard or catch your attention. Maybe sometimes you just need to hear from someone else who's thinking through what they feel like God's laid on their heart to be doing with their life. I know God's got a lot more for me. I know that this year has been a hard year. The whole last July? The whole last 11 months for us has been just, I don't want to say awful, but it's required a lot of faith. let me just put it that way. It has required a lot of faith, and we've been stretched and pushed and pulled and pressed, and we're at a point now where things are calming. The dust is settling. We feel like God is about to show us our next steps, and we feel like there's something's coming our way, and we don't know what it is. We just feel that, like, when a storm's coming, you can kind of start seeing signs. You know it's coming. You don't see the rain yet. You don't see the storm, but you know it's coming. You can smell it in the air. You can see it in the leaves turning upside down. You can start seeing clouds, and not that what we think is coming our way is a storm, but we feel like God has prepared us for something. We still don't know what it is, but we feel like God has prepared us in our household for something. I don't know who it's for, who it involves, other than it's going to involve us. I've just really felt that a lot lately, like we're on the brink of something, and I just don't know what it is. But I'm at peace about it, because I know that we've followed his instruction to now. So he's not going to take us this far just to bring us this far. But and I'm not trying to speak in code. I'm not trying to speak in, like, for someone to decipher something. I'm really not. It's just, for our family, we know that this year is going to be a pivotal year for us, in some way, shape, or form. Might be with our jobs, might be with our kids, school, we don't know. But just watch and see, I guess. I'll let you know when it happens. I'll let you know how it unfolds, because I feel like sometimes when you know that someone else has tried something new, stepped out in faith, sometimes it's easy to see if you feel like God's asking you to do the same thing. It's helpful to see that God's asked other people to do it, and he hasn't forsaken them or left them. So, and I don't feel like he has. I feel like God's been with us the entire time. So, yeah, that's kind of where we are. We're at a position of just being calm, being still, slowing down in everyday things. I'm not making my entire family stop and be Little House on the Prairie with me. These are things that I'm doing as, I've, take it up as a hobby, I guess. But these are skills I wanted to have, and these skills require you to slow down and have patience and slowly sow into something. And it's really refreshing to see that seeds that I've sown are starting to grow. And I feel like I mean that in more way than one. But I'm praying for anybody who watches this to just have some peace, to just, if you feel like God's pulling you somewhere, if you feel like God is ordering your steps, and you feel like the Holy Spirit's convicted you about a relationship, a job, a situation, trust your gut. Trust your gut. A lot of times the Holy Spirit might feel like your gut instinct. I've not ever audibly heard the voice of the Lord, but man, I have felt the tug of his Spirit, and I have felt and known without a shadow of a doubt that it was the Lord who was sending me the message. Trust your gut, trust your heart, trust the Lord. And when he calls you to do the scary things, it'll be okay. So that went in 45 different directions that I didn't plan on taking it. I'm going without notes, and I've got all my outdoor surroundings around me, and just kind of pouring out of my soul right now. And I hope that's helped somebody. If it hasn't, I'm sorry. Thanks for sticking with the channel anyways. I'll show you guys the progress as we're planting the sunflowers, and we've planted the sunflowers and the pumpkins. I'll keep you updated on the progress of those. We planted a lot of pumpkin seeds. Matt said, you know, he's got some plans for what we could do, where we could, you know, like sell them at a co-op or something like that. And I said, well, that, or, you know, we could just find people who could benefit from a free little pumpkin patch trip with their kids or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how many actually make it. We'll see how many pumpkins we actually get. We'll see. It's a big if. Again, I don't tend to keep things alive that are plants, but I'm doing so good. So far, so good this year. But I will keep doing some in between the episodes, reels or videos, just to update you on some stuff, maybe some just around the house things. Again, some recipes. I'm just looking forward to continuing to pour my heart out to you guys and connecting with you in some way, shape, or form, talking about real life, real work, and real faith. And man, this year has taken real faith, and God's proved himself to be faithful and stand with us through the entire time. So I will see you next time on Rooted in the Middle.